I mean, it's something that you've said about the timeline, the timeline of how things have changed. You know, maybe our great grandfathers were very spiritualist, very traditional.
Mm.
Really, Christianity came into Africa, shall we say, from colonialism. So
Mm.
they really served spiritual masters, or or some of them maybe even had very close relationships with God. They knew of God and they served God. But then they brought out this religion or Christianity, the colonial masters, and made it more westernized rather than it being this, very Hebrew Jewish
Mm.
form of worshiping.
Mm.
But you find that the traditions of man, even the Jewish people have traditions, those traditions of man were kind of to a higher being, except that you will find the Nephilim came in, started to teach the children of God root cutting, which is witchcraft. And the Tower of Babel was based on witchcraft. So
Mm.
all those things really came out of biblical times. There was always the dark and light.
Mm.
But somehow some people got pulled into the darkness and kept with the darkness. But if you can imagine that in those years gone by, God was really merciful
Mm.
because people did not know what they were doing. There was really a sense that this is our tradition, this is how we carry on. For posterity, we keep on with this and we teach it to the next generation. Nothing was seen bad of it until people started learning of maybe there's a good side, there's more to life than this, and challenging, the traditional ways.
Mm.
But also, people did not have a lot of struggles as we do now. It appears, I'm not sure, but it appears because there was not this lukewarmness where God says, if you're lukewarm, you either don't know or you know. So at least if
Mm.
you don't know, you're doing something in ignorance here. You need to be, taught or
Mm.
saved. But so you're fully committed. But the lukewarm ones who 1 minute they're in church, the next they're in whatever, those he'll spew out. And I suppose that's why there is a lot of spiritual attacks now, because the lukewarmness is very evident. Because
Mm.
people will go to church, pray a bit, but then when things don't work out very quickly, they go to the other one and do their thing to get some quick result. So the
Mm.
one leg in light and one another and in the other bit. And that, not being double-minded
Mm.
creates a difficulty. So it's that, I wonder whether that's what plays in modern day, because that's very present in modern day. That people are not committed. Because when you're following Christ, or when you're in your Christian walk, everything appears to be very slow. It is working back to restore what has been, what hasn't been right. And if you imagine that maybe our great grandfathers were very ignorant and they did all these things, but now you've come to the light, you need to go back and kind of ask God what cleanse that line and remove all that. But then people get, tired of,
they're set free.
yeah. But they also people get tired of the patience of it all and want to do things quickly. So find themselves now seeking other methods that
Mm.
take them away from Christ.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
yeah, the timelines have changed, things have changed. And I was listening to someone today who was saying, from about 2020, 2019, there was a shift. The atmosphere
Yeah,
shifted, isn't
evident.
it? Heavily, and it hasn't moved. There is this pending something coming. There's a pending sense of something coming up. And everyone says, oh, things have changed. It has really changed. But it has changed in the way people view the world. It has changed in politics. It has changed in economics. It has changed in people's walks, anything. Everything is out for questioning or up for questioning. Does it serve me to carry on going to church? You know, sitting in the pews and just giving my money for some man to come at the top and say, oh, by the way, God said this. But really, my life is not changing. Nothing is moving forward in my life. I'm stuck in the same rut, you know, just giving my money every week to this place. People want a God of miracles. People want the miracles to start. They don't want to go to a place where they don't see transformation. And I wonder whether there is something about the heavens kind of being a bit more open in terms of if we really seek God, things start to really open. Because, you know, God also knows people want miracles. People
Yeah.
want, that is the way. People are no longer going to believe that if I say a sinner's prayer, I am going to get saved. No, people want miracles and experience of walking with God, of saying, asking Him to visit them and He visits them, asking for their angels to become visible and they become visible. That is where people's minds are today. There is no longer someone sit up there saying, reading all the scriptures of the Bible and you know, explaining them and expounding on them as you go through all the chapters. Where is the meat? Where
And
is
they
the
even
real?
know more of it than you do yourself. Because by the time somebody sets them down and just say, I need another alternative, they had put all they know into it to see if it works.
It's different times. I mean, of course, you'll find people who you know, hunker down and carry on with the old system and try to make it work. But I don't know if an old system can work with how things are changing. Really important for people to come into their sonship. Because we're no longer going to be led by man. We're no longer going to have a mediator of man, the pastor who goes to Jesus. We're going to have that personal relationship and the responsibility to walk out our blueprint. And that takes, you know, completely turning your face away from a man being your covering.
He said anyone who's going to find him will have to seek him with all their heart. So if there's any string of fiber remaining somewhere, you can't count if you have the 99 in. That alone is a disqualifier. Because with all your heart, strength and mind, soul and spirit, everything. It occurred that all these places mentioned the realms or they are entities or territories or what. It's not like us with all your spirit, but he said mind and soul, and then again spirit. I seek him totally and completely to find him. And for his definition of love, love is not what we are going to give. He say, when you love me, obey, obey my commandments. And the commandments go that you love you one another. And the most of all is love your neighbors, you love yourself. So again, just amplifies the need for working out of love. You cannot go around it, because he is love.
And
And
also,
God is love.
You've talked about loving him with your mind, soul, and spirit. There is something about in our mind, the word has gone. We use our minds to set up. There's a word I really wanted to use, but let me just try and say it this way. It's in our minds that we go to war against God. It's in our minds that we build the thoughts that God is not, who he is. And then our soul perceives it and, embeds it. Our soul is where then our heart sits, that God cannot be trusted. His ways cannot be trusted. Who is he? Is this person who is wherever or ever? He's never appeared to me. But that starts off in our minds. And of course, when it's in our heart, then our spirit also takes over. So there's something about those three that is very important. Give wholly to God, completely and utterly. So that such that there's nothing that stands in the way of him being, Lord of all. Because then that brings you into your quantum entanglement with him. When he becomes Lord of all, your love of each other, you kind of become one with one another. You know his mind, he knows your mind. It's no longer about I'm going to work. It's like, Father, we're going to work. What's happening today? How can this day go? What do you want me to say? What don't you want me to say? Go ahead of me, go behind me. Surround me with your presence. Let today, it stops being about what we have naturally learned and put in our minds through education, but what he is doing, leading us in the day. And that thing of, I say forgetting people, but also forgetting self. Forgetting self and becoming completely reliant on God, reliant on the Trinity, reliant on their ability to completely transform your world without you having to fret, worry, And if that trust, and all these things are almost like, people go to the gym and they want to have big biceps and muscles and all this. But you can't go one day to the gym and you have biceps. You must have a six pack. You must go continuously for 6 months, a year, and then you start to see things forming. That is the same thing with this, that you must dedicate to, having God the one in charge. Completely, you give it up to him, you run it by him, you think of his thoughts and all that, such that less of you, because man, we can get very quickly into a very selfish place, even without knowing. So it becomes less of you very quickly and more of his plans, or plans he has with you. It is the practice of just, let me slow down and give this place to God.
With the practice, as you said, with the example of six pack and dedication, and they focused in their mind, they have set that image which is drawing them to persevere, and the persistence is built because in their mind they have created what they are going after. And that is when they wake up, that is what calls them to go and fulfill a day's workout. And they set a devoted schedule, by the way. So looking at how we can easily put off what we need to discipline ourselves into growing our spiritual muscle, or into a discipline of working from a place of love. And sit down and whine, and sit down and just fight, and sit down and make phone calls and weep some more. I mean, those ones are just like a deterrent.
Mm.
And isn't that what we do so easily?
It's very easy, yes.
And then after that, you wonder, when I come back, I cannot even concentrate
Mm.
because I'm trying to pull myself up from where I've already been pulled, like so deep
Mm.
into a region where it will take so much to come to a level before I can redirect myself into focusing into work from a region of love
Mm.
and stay there seriously, not wavering.
Mm.
You love in the image created on your mind. And,
Mm.
I was trying to remember this verse. I say, we have the mind of Christ.
We do.
We have the mind of Christ for what we need to think. We are given that in Philippians 4:8.
Mm.
But we have the mind of Christ for what reason? If I'm going to ignore that out of this mind, can come up words of life,
Mm.
releasing life in atmospheres, and just maybe engage the courts with all with all knowledge that we have acquired. No, the picture of the gym building a six pack is not a one good thing.
Mm.
They have maybe posted so many angles of how the six pack look like. You cannot imagine what dream they had before they even signed up for a gym.
Mm.
They knew the outcome will look like. And we know that by desiring to see a reformed community, a family that, oh, for once, this family is. And, when you say, take yourself off sometimes, completely. I see that sometimes the self is on the throne,
Mm.
cross-legged, and the desires are pampering. My friend, you are sitting on that throne. You have no business sitting on that throne. Directing your emotions, and before you know, you have run a war, or you have hit a dead end, and you blind. You don't know how to rediscover yourself.
But when Mike Parsons did the gates of the soul, spirit, and body, gates of reasoning, choice, imagination, will, mind, which is conscious, subconscious, and conscious, emotions, is it will? Those gates of the soul have to be given to Christ every day.
Yeah.
Just like we did, Jesus committed his spirit to God, in God the Father. It's that sense of I commit my spirit and my soul gets, I commit all of me to you. That I am spirit,
Mhm.
I am light, and I am energy. I carve all the energy force of the Father. I am completely entangled with the Holy Trinity in spirit, in light, and in energy. That every vibration of force of the Creator is within me. And that way of thinking kind of, it's almost a renewing of a mind. It's almost starting to change the way you see yourself. There is
Mm.
not, you're not apart from the Trinity. You're not on the side looking up, oh, Trinity, Trinity, Father, Son, Holy Spirit, help me. But you're part of them because you're dedicating your heart and your spirit, soul, and body to them every time. And you
Mm.
must have the mind of Christ. I literally, those are things I just say. I ask for the mind of Christ, and I ask, I connect my spirit uh, to the Father, knowing that have got light and the energy, the vibrations of who He is. I mean, whether it be light, vibrations, or sound, because
Mm.
God created through breath, which is a vibration or a wave, and sound.
Mm.
And those, and in creating, there's a video I was watching, like for us who were born in the earth, there is a spark, a lightning spark when, the egg and the sperm meet, there's a spark. But there were children who, I was watching a video recently, children who remembered that they were in the other world before they came in. One of them was saying, his mother was asking him, so how did you come into my tummy? He said, I came through the middle of your head. I was a light. Did you come from up there to the middle of my head? I came down a ladder.
Like the imagination.
Yeah. So it's those things. It's not that they were imagining, it's that they were remembering. They even remembered that they chose their parents. One of them asked, how did you choose me? When did you choose me? He said, oh, I saw you walking in the snow in the winter in a forested area. So now she was living in somewhere where it's quite hot. I don't know whether it was Texas or Florida, but she remembered that she grew up in, is it Colorado or something, some snowy place. But their children who have memories of before coming here. It's how much creation is changing. You'd never hear of such things. Or maybe they were really kept quiet. I don't know. But it's amazing stuff that's out.
It's a book I read, but the author I forget. But the title was The Soul Remembers.
Mm.
The Soul Remembers. He remembered how his life is going to be. And the moments, the injury he suffered, the parents was going to be born to, the wife was going to get married to, the kind of job he was going to hold. And he remembers that and writes it in the book. And I can't remember the entire book, but when you say that, I remember that book I read a while ago. I can go back in my Kindle and see my archive.
But it's that thing. The reason I bring that up is to say that we made choices. We chose to be born into this family. We chose the brothers and sisters we'll have. We chose it all. But the purpose was for restoration. That is the purpose. To bring back the love of Christ in the situation.
Yes, agree.
Yeah.
But the purpose is, I mean, can you imagine, it can be for vanity that we have created this many. And it's just a time to pass by, I mean, to pass through the world as pilgrims. Don't think so. There is a real serious purpose we need to embrace and find out.
So that's what we were taught, isn't it? We're just passing through.
Yeah, it's a song we did too.
Do nothing, we're just passing through.
No, sweet by and by. There are many songs. I mean, this world is not your home. You are just passing through heaven.
Beg. These things.
What is the open door? This world is not your home. You're just passing through. Jim Reeves.
Yeah.
Many songs were composed. But you thank God and you desire that many get to have their eyes open to a reality that they can engage their home even when they're here.
And I suppose there's something about there's a resistance, and of course people will be resistant. Change is a difficult thing. People really struggle with change. It's inevitable in terms of the world has changed, the atmosphere has really moved, there's been a movement. So the
Yeah.
change is inevitable. It's just people are still in that resistant place.
Mm.
But I think there's going to come a time when these sorts of conversations won't be new.
Mm. I
People,
agree.
people will just all be doing this. Because
Agree.
there is a turnaround. There is a turnaround, a turning back to
Mhm.
seeking
Agree.
God's face and wanting things to be transformed completely. Whether it be for you, for your nation, for your language, for your people.
I laugh. Why?
Mm,
Because 2 days ago,
mm,
I said, "Is that a dream? Is that what kind of encounter is this?"
mm,
Uh, Hannah comes to me and said, "And why is bathroom door small?"
mm,
And I say, "Okay, why?" I say, "You going to go there with the intention of undressing to get clean, and you're going to, okay, derobe or what?" He used
mm,
words. I was amazed. I said, "This young kid,
mm,
derobe."
mm,
I was listening. I was still curious because I never paid attention. When I said, let me go and look. Now it was a dream, no? Oh, I
mm,
thought it was a dream because it was such a funny encounter. Never had it. So I went and looked. I said, come on, the door to the bathrooms are small. And
mm,
I said, but what about the bathroom door downstairs in the basement? Bathroom is small too. I say, yeah. What reasons are you going to go in the bathroom for? You're going to offload junk, and then there you're going to it's offloading station.
mm,
And that was now her talking to me all that.
mm,
But they have bathroom doors in facilities. They are not small because they are accommodating people and the wheelchair and stuff like that. But no, she's not. She has never encountered a facility doors or bathroom doors. And I hear in my spirit, I say, for reasons of using wheelchair and needing assistance to be able to use the facility,
mm,
you have the Holy Spirit.
mm.
Carry a lot of disability, but
Yeah.
when you need to offload and you need to be eased or you need to receive care or you need to bath and stuff like that,
Mm,
that help, the Holy Spirit will help you up and
mm,
be able to use the facility.
mm,
And I was amazed at that. And she was just playful as usual. Just
mm,
kept, I said, maybe that's for you. She kept on going away with
mm,
a
mm.
device. And it kept me for hours just thinking and amused at what
Mm.
that encounter was. And I said, bathroom.
It's interesting. I'd never thought about it in terms of, but even when you go to public facilities, they'll have the disabled toilet on
Uh-huh.
either side and the doors are bigger, but
Yeah.
all others are small.
Yes.
But I've never thought about it.
Yeah.
No.
A helper is coming alongside this one who
Mm,
needs a bigger door.
mm,
But they're also doing the same thing. They are getting rid of junk. They
yeah.
are getting a wash, a clean, and they're going to wear clean clothes after
Mm,
they done receiving a service in the bathroom.
mm.
They are not going to wear the same dirty clothes again. I say, derobing. Did she just
The rob of those words that were said. Don't throw them in the bathroom.
no,
Those
no.
words don't mean anything to you.
I said, derobing. I said,
The
oh,
rob, the rob
that
of
was
all those
interesting.
words. Uh,
Yeah.
beg.
Yes, the robe,
The
and you're
rob.
going to be clean. You scrub off
It's true.
all this.
Because at times we just keep wearing one filth over another.
Uh,
People say words, we carry that. They say another one, we carry that. They say, we never derobe.
uh,
We keep going back to that same word that was said 3 weeks ago. Hey, I can't believe he said, hey, he said this
thanks.
3 weeks ago. And today he said, and today.
Thanks. Yes, yes. Just
So,
see, no, who is on that throne? You know who is on the
yeah.
throne. Mr. Soft has even put on a crown now.
Mhm.
Instead of directing the what do you call the what's what is that? Is magicians call it a wand, but it's not a wand when you're in the kingdom.
Staff. Is it a
Staff.
staff? Or what is it? A
I will
sword?
remember. So
Mm.
that spoke volumes.
Mm.
Because before you engage your spirit in that, so we have access all the time,
Mm.
but you have not derobed. You know, maybe she used a very funny word to make it linger for me to
Mm.
think about it more.
Mm.
Derobe sometimes.
Mm.
Be lightweighted, not engage the battle of a civilian, and you are not dressed as an athlete to get your prize.
Mm.
You are loaded, and you've been in the bathroom, but you come up loaded. No point of going in the bathroom. You are brought out the stench.
Mm.
Wet stench this time. It was dry when you went in. I imagine the towel was not enough because
Mm.
just you went in and came back.
Mm.
Uh,
It's
I was
interesting.
blessed. Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
So I don't know whether I called it a dream or what because I was
Mm.
so engaged with it. Moved
Mm.
here, moved there, looking and looking.
Yeah, that's the spirit saying to you, derob, derob. Those words you keep carrying for the whole week.
I know. Yeah,
Uh,
that's it really. The barrier was on 7 days go, more than 7 days.
mm.
This is a for this day 14.
Mm.
So and who should be off dethroned? You should really guess that.
Mm.
Dethrone something.
Mm.
Uh,
It's good because the Holy Spirit really walks alongside us when we're going through something difficult. And He will
yes,
use a dream or whatever that was to kind of help you realize,
yes.
you're holding on to things. They need to really be chucked,
Uh,
offloaded.
yeah. That's so true.
Mm.
Uh, Amen.
It is a journey,
It is.
but I think this journey also gives me hope.
Yeah,
Yeah, hope,
absolutely.
hope because it's not about me. I think there's something about it being the Father. It's not about me. It's the Father's battle. And
Yes.
so my place in it is just to keep bringing things back to Him
Yeah.
and giving them up to Him because our will says we will hold on to this, we'll hold on to this junk, we won't, take it to the bathroom. We'll hold on to it, we'll remember it. But God will not say, give it to me. It's your choice.
Yeah, yeah.
Our free will is
Oh,
to carry
yes.
carry whatever we want.
Oh, that is you win that area. Oh,
Mm.
you were saint. You were saint. And a
Mm.
pastor really tongue speaking prophet, demon chaser. She had cookies from ex-wife.
Mm.
Cookies.
Mm.
She suspected cookies. Come on, how old were those cookies? 14 years old.
Wow.
She's waiting for her kids to grow. When they reunite, we're going to show them these cookies that their mother made and made them like this and this and this and cast them over me. I spared these cookies, wrapped and saved cookies. So it's
That
easy to
isn't it?
judge, but it's like for one finger that is out, the four are just on you. So
Mm. Mm.
what is your life really in comparison?
Mm.
Wanting to take a splint out of somebody's eye goes back to you and you carrying a log.
Mm. It's true. It's true.
You carrying a log. So for you to see clearly, get rid of
Mm.
that log so you can help somebody with a speck in the eye,
Mm.
and judge so you will not be judged. The justice is going to be there. Oh, judge not, so you'll not be judged. Oh my God, that is like a star in the wound, like yesterday, pepper,
Mm.
pepper. It feels comfortable to just mesmerize on this thing, yeah.
Mm.
No, that's what I really see. It's an experience that I need, like you said, daily, because you wake up and say, "Oh my God," you like trying to
Mm.
even oil it up, make
Mhm.
it shiny the more.
Mm. Put it on the mantle.
Yeah, yeah, frame it up.
Mm.
Have mercy, your Father God. Have
Yeah,
mercy.
indeed. It's laughable, but really it's what we do.
Absolutely, yes, yes,
Mm.
yes.
Yeah.
Eh, if you just wake up, how dare they? That would be 3 days on the how dare they.
You're back there.
Didn't I tell you? You wake up and you're just oiling this framed up, and you read, and then you start creating punctuation marks and where do capitals come, and oh, he yelled right here.
Love it.
No, you have to
Oh,
make
this.
this one in caps, because they sounded like a yell. You know what, tearing me off. Oh my mama.
Yeah. Anyways, we got 1 minute 30, 20 seconds, so I'll stop this.